The Schumer shutdown was never about health care or any other policy. It is about fear. The Democrats fear political retribution from the far left activists in their party more than they fear the consequences of keeping the government closed for weeks on end. They fear political retribution from far left activists more than families going hungry and workers missing paychecks. That is a fact that they are demonstrating day after day and vote after vote.
You see House Speaker Mike Johnson there on this 35th day of the federal government shutdown. We just slid into the longest one ever. Minutes from now, the U.S. Senate will take the 14th test vote to reopen the government. And yet again, Democrats are not expected to come to the table. It's a 60-vote majority needed for this. So you'd need 5 Democrats to join the Republicans. And they have sat on their hands 13 previous times. We will see on this 14th vote what they will do. People's lives are at stake. Their livelihoods are at stake. 42 million people who depend on food assistance in this country waiting to see what will happen. The president looking at what he needs to shift to try to feed them by tomorrow. I mean, this is emergency territory, and Democrats up until now have been AWOL on this issue. The stalemate is again day 35. Flights are delayed across the country as air traffic controllers go without pay. And right now, the Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, is talking again about this issue. You know, just a few days ago, he was at LaGuardia Airport, one of the busiest in the world. Tens of millions of people are unsure about putting food on the table, as I mentioned. There is only enough money to partially fund the SNAP benefits at this point. Senator John Kennedy.
This thing's beginning to look like something my dog brought up. You know, I mean, it's a multiple vehicle pilot, but I don't know what else to do. I'm going to keep voting yes, and hopefully at some point my Democratic colleagues will vote yes.
Senior congressional correspondent Chad Pergram on Capitol Hill. Chad.
Harris, good morning. We have just broken a record. After midnight today, the government shutdown hit 35 days. That's the longest shutdown in U.S. history. In early October, Republicans predicted that Democrats would cave soon. It never happened.
I don't think any of us expected that it would drag on this long. We didn't think we'd have to come in here every single day, day after day after day, and repeat the obvious facts of the American people and to put it on display every day.
The test vote in just a few moments is to break a filibuster and begin debate on a bill to fund the government through November 21st. But Senate Majority Leader John Thune says that bill is practically moot now. Democrats are carping about their demand for money to offset the cost of Obamacare. That's what they want in exchange for opening the government.
The average American on ACA plan will pay 114% more out of pocket. 4 million Americans will lose health insurance entirely. A 60-year-old couple earning $85,000 could pay a staggering $22,600 more a year. How the hell are they going to afford that?
Now, flight delays are piling up. Concerns about SNAP are lingering. President Trump says he will only give them out unless the government is open. And the shutdown is now harming the economy.
Small business owners are not getting $4 billion in small business loans to keep their doors open. How can the economy continue to grow? We are losing $15 billion a week in GDP because of this Democratic shutdown.
Now, bipartisan senators are discussing an off-ramp, but even a deal would take days to advance through the Senate. Plus, they must sell it to the House. It's about the math, and it's unclear if there's a combination to unlock the shutdown box. Harris?
Chad, thank you very much. In focus now, I want to bring in Senator Katie Britt, Republican of the great state of Alabama, member of the Judiciary and Banking Committees. Senator, our reporter Chad Pergram just mentioned that funding would last, if you could get this vote, only until November 21st. So this has taken so long that even if Democrats say yes at this point, 5 of them join Republicans, and you can start opening the government again, November 21st is the date that the problem comes back. What happens on that date if the government shutdown goes beyond November 21st?
Well, first off, Harris, it's absolutely ridiculous that we're in this position. I mean, you just heard and played Chuck Schumer talk about all of the damage that's being done across America because he is demanding a ransom payment to give these people an opportunity. That is absolutely despicable. If you take his words and what he is saying is happening to America, he and the Democrats could have made sure that none of this happened long ago. With the CR that we've given them, a clean CR, allowing them to open the government, allowing WIC to be funded, allowing no SNAP benefits to go not given out. It would allow military to be paid. It allows small business owners to be able to get these loans. It would allow America to keep moving and thriving, and they have chosen to put their own political advantage over the people that they serve. So, Harris, that's one thing that we've been talking about. I've been proud to take a lead in talking about actually doing appropriations bills. We are in this position because they are not passed. If you rewind to when Chuck Schumer was in charge, Chuck Schumer never put one appropriations bill on the floor. That's because he wanted to hoard all the power himself and not let the process play out. Unlike that, we actually had passed 3 appropriations bills prior to the August state work period. Look, when we're looking at how to move forward, Harris, if we're able to move those bills, that 3-bill package forward, it would fund WIC, it would fund SNAP, it would fund our veterans, it would fund our Capitol Police. It would actually allow these things to function for the remainder of the year and get us back moving. So that's one pathway forward to kind of sort of start to break this logjam and tell Democrats we're done with their ridiculousness.
My time is short with you. I know you all are working hard, so I don't want to miss an opportunity. What happens if you go past November 21st?
Look, we can't go another week. The Democrats need to do the right thing and open back up the government. They know real people are paying the price, Harris. There is nowhere that I went across the state of Alabama where people didn't tell me a story about not being able to make ends meet, not being able to feed their family, not being able to pay their bills. So Democrats need to realize there are real consequences, detrimental consequences for hardworking Americans and Americans who need assistance because of their political games. So we have to open it up, and it needs to be now.
And that right there, folks, is why Harris Faulkner called it emergency territory. Because this isn't just politics anymore. It's about power, fear, and who's really running the show in Washington. Senator Britt came in swinging, and Schumer, nowhere to be found when it's time to lead. You can feel the frustration. Americans paying the price, while the same politicians play their same old games. So here's the bottom line. If you're tired of watching DC, treat your paycheck like a bargaining chip. Hit that like button. If you think enough is enough, drop a comment below, because your voice matters more than any soundbite out of the Senate floor. Subscribe now, because we're not just breaking stories here, we're breaking through the spin. Stay locked in. The next clip exposes exactly how deep this shutdown chaos goes. I'll see you in the next one.